Welcome to Saving the Investor, where your money matters. I'm Alfie Townsend, and your retirement success is my business. Coming up on today's show, IRAs, your ticking tax time bomb. Tax strategies to protect your principal. How to maximize your IRA benefits, and much more.
Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group. Alfie is a published author, radio show host, speaker, and industry leader.
Why do you use an annuity? A lot of people use it for the wrong thing.
He works with retirees and pre-retirees to build and protect their nest egg and offers his experience to help those concerned about financial independence in retirement. If you've got questions about retirement, Saving the Investor starts now.
Welcome to Saving the Investor with your financial coach, Alfie Townsend. And today we're in studio with the financial coach. You are Southwest Florida's financial planner, and we're talking about IRAs today, those that are qualified and disqualified. And really, there's a lot of different types of IRAs. I did not know that. What does it all mean, and why is there so many?
So you have 401ks, 457s, 403bs. You have SEPs, and you have so many different plans out there. They're confusing.
Yeah.
Okay. The bottom line though is you worked. You're able to, simple IRAs, you're able to put this money aside and defer your taxes. That means you get to, a matter of fact, get a tax deduction while you're working. Now, typically, while you're working, you're in a higher tax bracket, okay? So it's a good thing. You put $6,000, $6,500 in, you can put $20,000, you can put $50,000 in some of these plans a year, and then you defer that. You don't pay tax on that money, you defer it for years and years and years. But then there's going to be a time that you retire and you have to take that money that you worked, that you got deferred all these years and not pay tax on, then you got to pay the piper, meaning you got to start paying Uncle Sam at age 70 and a half.
Okay.
Okay. Now, during that time, there's going to be, while it's sitting there and you retired, you can move it to, you want to make sure you move that 401k, if that's what you're doing, to a IRA. Because if you don't move it to a qualified plan, then it becomes a taxable event. Could you imagine taking a 401k, and if they send you a check directly, John, if they said, let's say you retired and you had this money built up, and they said, here, John, here's a $250,000 check. You can go and put in your IRA. They're going to have to hold 20%.
Of the whole amount?
Of the whole amount.
Okay, so that's a lot of money.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
That's when they send you the check directly, and there's been a law change last year on that where they can't rollovers. They send the money directly to the client of IRA. You can do that one time in 12 months, but if you do that more than once, then it's a taxable event. It used to be where you could do it many times in a year. So people were taking that money out, using it for 60 days and putting it back in.
Right.
So they take it out, invest it, put it back in, and they allowed to do that. And IRS said, no, you know what, we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. So now what happens is you can transfer it to another institution as many times as you want, but do not get that check in hand. So when I usually do it, I will have a client, the institution, make it payable to our institution, if it's Fidelity, if it's to an insurance company, and then I'll put FBO, for benefit of. You can do that as many times as you want.
So there's ways to protect the client.
Absolutely. But there's ways out there. You got to be careful, because when you retire, you have this money that you never pay taxes on. We call it a ticking time bomb, because you never pay tax on it. Then at age 70 and a half, you have to start paying taxes on this money. And when you have to start taking money out at age 70 and a half. Now, people ask me this question all the time, Alfie, how much do I need to take out? And the IRS has a nice little chart there you can Google, withdrawals from RMDs, and it tells you it will say 27 years. That means the government really wants you to have all your money out over 27 years. And each year gets more and more. So at age 70 and a half, John, it's about 3.65, and then it goes 3.8, 3.9, 4, and then
they want the tax on that money.
They want the tax on this money. So if you have a $500,000 IRA, you're going to have to take out about 20. I say usually the rule of thumb is 4%. It is no secret An enjoyable retirement does not include running out of money. Saving money for retirement is one thing, but making it last a lifetime is another. When people who are retired or soon to be retired come to our office for the first time, often they have a plan for growth, but what they really need is a plan for predictable income and protection. To achieve financial independence, you need a clearly defined retirement plan. To validate your current plan or to put one in place, call me. Be one of the first 5 callers and receive a complimentary retirement review and planning kit, which includes an analysis that sorts through your current advisor fees, a plan to guard your investments in any economy, and a customized income plan that will create a predictable lifetime income. Remember, this retirement review and planning kit is completely complimentary. There's no obligation or costs. What are you waiting for? Call now.
So people that have a 401k now or 403b, when they retire, they then have to get an individual retirement account, right? Is that what you're saying they have to switch into?
So what happens is when you if you're retired from a place and you have the old 401k, some people come in, they have 401ks in 2 or 3 other places. The best thing to do is consolidate, and I'm going to tell you why you want to consolidate. Here comes 70 and a half, and you have 4 or 5 of these IRAs all over the place, even 3 or 4, okay? If one of them forgets to send you your required minimum distribution, that's what happens when you're 70 and a half. A couple things happen with IRAs, a 59 and a half and a 70 and a half. I don't know what this half stuff is, but it makes it, half.
They don't want you doing it at the beginning of the year, I guess.
I guess. So what happens is this, you're 70 and a half. Just think if you have 3 or 4 IRAs, and let's say they're 200,000 apiece. You have 3 of them. Say you have a $600,000 IRA. And so you have these 3 IRAs, and you have to take money out of these IRAs at 70 and a half. Now, you're allowed to take it all out of one for all 3 of them. As long as if you have $600,000 there and they say you have $24,000 you have to take out, they don't care if it comes out of one or a little bit out of each one. But what if you were taking a little bit out of each one, which most people do, and that one, let's call it the bank, forgets to send it to you, or sent it to you and never got to you never got it in the mail. Let's say it was a mail's fault and the bank's fault. But now you were supposed to take, let's say you were supposed to take $8,000 out of that one. It is, you know what the penalty is?
No.
It's a 50% penalty.
Wow.
So just imagine
and
this.
it's not even if it's not your fault, you're still held
It's not
accountable for it.
It's the bank's fault, and I'll say this, I called the bank, why didn't you send it? Well, I thought you were taking it out of, I didn't have it set up. Well, banks aren't usually you want institutions. That's what we do. We will make sure that you get your required minimum distribution. And the thing about it is this, here's an $8,000 distribution you didn't take that you were supposed to take. Now, all of a sudden, the IRS says, you know what? You owe us, you got to take that $8,000 out, but now you owe us a $4,000 penalty to boot.
Wow.
So that's why when we do, we do workshops, I remember in Maryland when we would do these workshops with Kevin, who was an elder law attorney, he said when you're getting close to the age of 70 and a half or even before, the best thing to do is consolidate these IRAs because you do not want to have a situation where you're exposed to a 50% penalty on, what if you're on vacation? What if you're on a cruise?
And you forgot and you didn't
and
take
you
it.
forgot, and then you were supposed to take this money, and it did not come out before December 31st.
So how do you help your clients? Do you automatically set it up where it's going to distribute a certain amount at each time a year if they're not taking out of it on a regular basis? How do you go about that?
We have an awesome staff between Josie and Ruth and Beth. We make sure that those IRAs that's top priority right now, especially when it gets close to December. Top priority, our clients are set up. So it's already set up. When they come in, we set it up beforehand.
Okay.
So if the company messes a setup, they will take care of it.
So that's one of the benefits of dealing directly with you as Southwest Florida's financial planner, that you're going to make sure that they're going to get their required minimum distributions. And we're talking about IRAs today, and you're talking about some of the benefits of them, obviously the tax deferring while you're working.
Yeah.
What other benefits are in an IRA, and why should people have them in their portfolio package?
Well, most people's life, because of pensions, we talked about not too long ago on one of the shows, we talked about people don't have pensions anymore. They don't have pensions anymore. So the IRAs are now their pension. These 401ks, these 457s, these 403bs, the simples, the SEPs, these are their pension for retirement. So this is majority of the money that's out there in the market is 70% of it would be qualified money, people that never pay taxes on that money. That's why it's so important to handle that IRA right. If you have an IRA, that's what we do. 70% of our clients that invest with us is their IRA monies. The other 30% would be other things, but it's important to create that income from an IRA. There's some things you can do. We have this one program, John, that we give a guaranteed income from part of their IRA. We make sure that they have a guaranteed income, and down the road what we do is we take that income and make it tax-free using an IRS code that even the CPAs don't even know about. I have to educate them on this, and once I educate them on this, they say, this is amazing. So there are some things we can do to take this taxable ticking time bomb and make it a tax-free vehicle down the road for income down the road. And then there's other things, Sue, we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, because you're making a great point. So I can, through my working life, invest tax deferred.
Yep.
And then when I get to my retirement age or ready to retire, I can then shift that money into something that will then be tax deferred or tax free.
Well, it's going to be taxable for you for a while, but then we're going to show our clients how to take that money in some cases and make it a tax-free event for them and their spouse down the road. So, that's one of the methods that we do. With financial planning, what happens is I go probably about 6 to 7 times a year to these small groups and these conferences just to learn for our clients. We are always traveling. My staff will say, "Oh, you're going out again?" I'm saying, "Yeah, I'm not. You think I like going out? You think I like leaving Southwest Florida, getting on a plane, layovers, missing planes, staying at a hotel, and come and you think I like that? I don't like that at all. I don't like that. I'd rather be right here." But what it does, it makes me better for our clients, and that's the bottom line. We have to do these things that we don't like to do to make ourselves better for our clients. I do it for our clients, period. I do it for our clients because I want the best for them. I want to know what's out there. I want to know if we can, lower their taxes, if we can lower their risk, if we can give them a lifetime income. How do we do all this the most efficient way we can do it that benefits both of us, them and us?
That's awesome, because knowledge is power. And obviously, like you said, you have information that even CPAs don't know, because you're exposing yourself to knowledge that can benefit your clients.
Sure.
And really, that's who I would want working on my side, is somebody that's going to continually learn and come into an understanding of, a financial path that can benefit me, because it's always changing, isn't it? Financial investing is always changing as well.
I got in this business in 1983, and it was really one-dimensional at that point. I was just, and it didn't change for a long time. And then it just started, the last few years, I would say the last 8 years or so, if you're not changing, you're getting left behind. And when I get left behind, my clients get left behind. That's why we can't let that happen.
Well, if you want to be ahead of the curve and you want to be with somebody that's ever learning, he's a lifelong learner, and he's going to do what's best for you, and he's going to bring information to the table that maybe you haven't heard before. Call that number appearing on the screen. Jot that number down. Give Alfie Townsend a call. You can meet with him in Fort Myers or Naples. He will examine your portfolio from the inside out, and he's going to make recommendations to you that are prudent and beneficial to you so that you can set a course towards retirement with peace of mind. Don't allow the ticking tax time bomb to catch up with you. Alfie has alternative plans that can help help you avert some of the taxes that you might have to pay. And obviously, he can tell you more about that in a face-to-face meeting in Fort Myers or Naples. He has 2 beautiful offices. You also can go to savingtheinvestor.com, where you'll find a wealth of information about Alfie, his company, all the services that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. And don't forget to listen to us every Saturday morning on 92.5 Fox News. It's the Saving the Investor Hour of Power, where Alfie talks about all the current events, all the things that are keeping you up at night, and he's going to give you great information on that broadcast that you wouldn't normally get on our television broadcast. So tune in, 92.5 Fox News, Saturdays at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're going to keep talking with the coach about IRAs right on the other side of this break, so stay tuned. Don't go away.
Wall Street, the bears, the bulls, natural disasters, inflation, the Fed, gold prices, wars, fuel costs, world markets, currency values. It can all be so confusing. I'm Craig Wolf. So many uncertainties in today's headlines can make investing a challenge, but it doesn't have to be. If you're retired or nearly retired, this news is for you. I'm here with financial coach Alfie Townshend. Alfie, in this media-driven, crazy world of too much information, how do your customers cut through the fog of investing?
Well, let's talk about emotion. What that does, it robs people of their returns. When the market goes up, they get all excited. When the market goes down, they start to sell. And they do exactly the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
How do you take the emotion out of the market for your customers?
We're going to expose what's inside their portfolio with doing what we call a financial MRI. It's going to show them their hidden fees. It's going to show them their returns. It's going to tell you how diversified you are, and most of all, if you're taking undue risk. I'm going to show you how to reduce your risk and either keep the return the same or even increase it in some cases.
What is the most important thing people need to know about their portfolio?
Allocation. It's 91.5% of the performance of anybody's portfolio is how it's allocated.
My dad had a pension and his employer handled everything.
Craig, those days are long gone. What you have to do these days is make sure you have a lifetime income that will last your lifetime and your spouse's lifetime. And we put a written, comprehensive lifetime income plan in place. People are living longer. They work 20, 30, 40 years, and then the next day they retire. And if you get that second part wrong, you're going to have to go back to work. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Thank you, Alfie. To get your complimentary financial MRI and your comprehensive lifetime income plan, call Alfie now at 561-1155. Your financial future is too important to put off.
Your financial future is too important to put off, and that's why you want Southwest Florida's financial planner, Alfie Townshend, on your side. Give him a call at that number appearing on the screen. It's a local call. Meet with him in Fort Myers or Naples, and he will examine your portfolio, make sure that you're setting a course towards retirement with peace of mind. We're talking about IRAs today, and before the break, you were talking about all these different trainings that you go to, and I know all the time you're always either flying to Dallas or out to Kansas City or this place, that place. You're looking to stay ahead of the curve all the time, and you keep learning. You're a lifelong learner. Why is that passion there to continue to stay ahead?
There's really 2 reasons, John, and the first one is because I want the best for our clients.
Right.
But the other one, it goes back to, I would have to say, in the early 80s, when I first got in this business. I went back to California on my dad's side, and I was seeing some of my family there, and there was one guy in particular, cousin Steve, and Steve was very handsome. I remember him when I saw him, and when I was like 9 years old, 10 years old, and I didn't see him again until 21. Well, at 21, he was in his 30s at the time, and he did all the commercials for Chrysler. He did all the commercials, all the editing for Chrysler commercials, and he had a young wife, he had a brand new baby, he had the nice cars, the nice homes. Everything was just perfect for him. You would say that's a perfect family, that everything's perfect. And then about 5 years later, I find out that he got a divorce. His wife divorced him. I also found out that, and I told Uncle Johnny, I said, what happened to cousin Steve? He had everything. And what happened was he did not learn the computer. And it went digital back during that time. And he did all the editing for Chrysler commercials, and he did not keep up with the time to edit. And the changing of how editing was going on, and he lost his job, and he had to move back to home in his 40s with his mom.
Wow.
And I said, here I was just really starting in the business at the time, And at 3 or 4 years, I said at that point, I said, I am not going to be in that situation where I am not staying ahead and letting the business go by, because two things happen. Number one, I lose my business. And number two, it's not right for the client. So I can tell my clients that I have the top technology over there. That's why I got my CFP. CFP, Certified Financial Planner, was the hardest thing I ever had to do. And it was so hard that it really drained you. But I wanted that so I could be the best for our clients. And that's the main reason why, I go through all this training and torture myself.
Yeah, and it's awesome, that you do that, because technology now is changing so fast and so quickly, and it's hard to even keep up with the changes that even in the investing world and the different products that are coming on the scene, chances are a lot of times you're one of the first ones to get new products, and a lot of times you have products that a whole bunch of other people don't get, that only a limited amount of advisors get. That's important to be able to know for the people that are watching.
Exactly. So we want to be out there in the forefront to do that. And today we're talking about IRAs and the common mistakes people make with IRAs. And one of the things we talked about was, if you have these different IRAs, you want to consolidate them, number one, so you don't have that 50% penalty down the road when you have to start taking money out because some company forgot to send you the distribution. If you have 401ks, old 401ks where you used to work, it's the best thing to do is roll that over. You control it, because they're very limited what they offer in their 401k. And that's what we do. That's another good point, is that we will help people that are still working with their 401ks, managing some money for them, and then they have these 401ks. I will look at their 401ks and I will make some adjustments for them, even though it has nothing to do with us, but I will help them with their 401ks because we're helping them, for their future. We want to make sure that 401k that they have, it might not be everything that ours is, but I can tweak it a little bit to save them.
That's a great point. And also, too, can't they put a portion of their existing 401k into some investment vehicle while they're working with you?
So some places, what they have is called in-service withdrawals, John. So you're allowed, if you're still working and you're usually over the age of 59 and a half, they'll allow you to do what we call in-service withdrawals, where you can take 80%, even sometimes 100% of your money out and put it into an IRA of your choice. And let's say we're helping you with that, and it still allows you to contribute to your 401k, and you still get the contributions from your employer. So it's a win-win situation, because the 401ks, like I said, they are limited to what they offer and the typical high-end fees. So if you can have a 401k that's institutional, IRA that's institutional, and that's a big difference. That's a whole different topic about institutional investing and
better
retail.
Pricing, right? Better pricing.
Institutional is what we do, is better pricing, and you're getting pricing because we're, our family of investors, you're getting the pricing of volume opposed to just individual.
That's a great point. If you're watching right now by this broadcast and you're maybe 40, 45 years old and say, well, I don't need Alfie till another 20 years or so, give him a call. Sit down with him in Fort Myers or Naples. Maybe you can move some of the money that you have in your current 401k and put it into a better investment vehicle that can take advantage of a lot of things that he's talking about. Another thing that's important to note is that some people don't need an IRA and they want to establish a legacy. You're able to help them with that type of service, aren't you?
Yeah, so what you're talking about is this. When you're 70 and a half, I have a lot of times, John, people will come in and say, I don't really need this money in my IRA. What do I do with it? Okay, is there ways? So there's beneficiaries. Number one, there's beneficiaries that what we might want to do is make it where the beneficiary might be your grandchildren instead of your children or your spouse. Because if they receive it, if your grandchildren receive it, and there's special ways to set it up, so don't take what I'm saying and I'll just make that. We have to look at it. We have to make sure it's right for you, and we have to make sure it falls under the guidelines. But for example, if your grandchildren were to inherit your IRA when you pass and they're like 25 years old, then they have like 55 years to take this money out over the course of their life, where if someone else receives it, they have to take it out at a much faster rate because they're older. It's based on age. So there's ways to do that. And in addition to that, we have programs that if you do not need that IRA, we can show you how to take that money out and how to pay the tax on it and how to create a legacy, John, for your charity, for your spouse, for your children that becomes, instead of a taxable event, is a tax-free event.
Wow. That's great.
Tax-free, and you're talking about 30% to 35% tax bracket that you save in addition is worth a whole lot more than what you put in.
That's an important point because taxes are constantly going up. Estate taxes are going up. Things are constantly increasing. So you have ways to sort of shelter that money if somebody wants to pass it on to their heir. But also there's other ways where they can pass it on as a legacy to their favorite charity as well.
Absolutely. So, there's some people that come in and they don't know who to leave it to. They say, you know what, I don't have any children, so I'll say, what's your charity? It might be a church, it might be the Humane Society, it might, but so yeah, there's ways that we can take that IRA and show them how we can leave a legacy, because when you're gone from this earth here, a legacy, if you have a legacy, that's what people live for, is to have, some of them, to have a legacy when they're no longer here. And that's, it's, if they can make a charity better because of their money, that's a big thing to a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's what gives them, the viewers, a lot of different options to be able to work through their IRA or 401k and all the different types of things that we talked about on this broadcast today.
John, it's not just investing, it's like having a purpose for your money. Okay, so we talk, I know how to invest your money, I know how to create income for your money, but what I try to do is create a purpose for your money that you have that you might not even be thinking about, but we talk about it, and that gets your mind to start thinking, saying, you know what, there might be different options that I wasn't even thinking about. And that's why, we have the success that we have is because of the things that we do.
Well, maybe we'll have to talk about that on a future broadcast about creating a true purpose for your money. That's an interesting topic that I know a lot of our viewers would be interested in. And you need to know what is the purpose of your money, because obviously if you accumulate it and it's going to outlive you, you want it to benefit something that is near and dear to your heart. And Coach Townsend, as you can hear from what he has shared today, he's interested in your whole family, your whole situation. He's not just looking to sell you a product. He wants to make sure that your vision for your money and for your future comes to pass even long after you're gone. So pick up that phone, give Alfie a call. It's a local call. Meet with him in Fort Myers or Naples. He has 2 beautiful offices there. He's going to examine your portfolio, and even if you don't have a portfolio, he's going to help you achieve your financial goals and dreams well into your retirement years so that you can set sail with a course towards retirement with peace of mind. You also can go to savingtheinvestor.com. His website is absolutely action-packed with information. You can click on the media tab there, and you can watch on your smartphone or your tablet any one of these topics or broadcasts that we talk about here on the Saving the Investor program. You also can go to savingtheinvestor.com and find out about his whole team that's going to help you achieve your dreams and goals into your retirement years. Until next time, it's always a pleasure coming into your living room. Stay tuned and be blessed.
I'm Arda Boyer, and welcome to Mondo Uomo. 24 years ago, I started this business with the intent to bring the finest menswear to Naples, Florida. We have achieved that not only with the products we carry, but also, and more importantly, with the service we offer, providing you the quickest and finest alterations available in town to delivery of your items to your home. Let's not forget the designers that we bring to you. Come visit us here at the Village on Venetian Bay.